Good morning. It's your girl, Elizabeth Adela Shadi. Lots of things going on, and I'd love to watch. I pick my topics, I pick my battles. This girl that came out nonchalant about speaking about the ex she left in Nigeria that called her for help while in Canada, and she said she was so glad she didn't marry him because she would have been somewhere in Nigeria tying wrapper. Baby, she shop will ever marry by. Abroad la won lórí burúkú ọkùnrin kú sí jù. Oh, money, I'm a manager ara wa ni. We manage ourselves. Why is it that both sexes choose an all or nothing stance? You need to listen to how some people talk about their wives or women, and how some women talk about men, husbands and boyfriends. The truth of the matter is, individually we will experience one another. I have friends that have fantastic marriages, and I have friends that have had horrible marriages. If you don't learn to pick what your choice is and look at the age, timing is everything. Not just in business, in life, in relationships. Timing is everything. When bitter people that have been hurt, finding healing, talk about relationships. When careless people, especially we, 45, 50, 60, talk about relationship and experiences that we've been through, it is not for you, young girl that has never married before, to now gather all your eggs in your dirty mouth and speak up to break your chances. What you said was horrible. See, it is not everything that we propagate. I know that we always think the more dramatic, the more melodramatic, the more drastic, the more, chaotic, the more we can. Is it everything you run to social media to express? Now, did what that girl say, was what she said wrong? No. But where and how she said it is wrong. It is not everything that we feel that we propagate. It is not everything that we think in our heads that we have to say. You have to learn to open your eyes, open your ears, and control your mouth. There are lots of horrible feelings. See, I was telling my brother about the sermon that I heard, that when Jacob went to see Laban, he noticed that Laban's countenance fell. But Jacob didn't say, why now? Why your color changed like that? Why your eye just carry fire? No, he went to God to pray about it. It is not everything that we feel that goes around us, that happens to us, that we speak. And even if you choose to do that, you better make sure that you have lived at least half of your life. When I talk about men, sometimes the way I may choose to talk about them, it is not for anyone that has never been married before or any of our young daughters. It is not hypocrisy. It is knowing to manage your life and not shutting doors against yourselves. There's a time and a place for everything, and that place includes age. What you have looked at, your projections, your perceptions, your preconceptions about what your notions will be. But so you are in Canada. So you feel God has done something wonderful. Of course, which he has done. Just the same way he has done for the people in Nigeria. Do you know what it means to be abroad? Or you're still getting deceived with all the lights and the colors and the dollars? You're comparing it in your head to the naira. So you think you're now richer than that boy, that young man that you turned down, and you're already thanking God that you didn't marry him because he asked you for help. Why are women so pathetic, so unfair? You look for men that do not exist in your family in wealth. Your brothers are broke like my brothers. Your sons are struggling like my son. But you will judge them from rich men that you don't even know how they got their wealth. Most women are looking for what your father cannot. My son sang it in his song. I taught them. We work together to grow, to build wealth. Luxury life is good. Yes, nobody says to buy buslock or buslock. There is just there are certain things we need to get straight. This social media will destroy your life. When you speak, you don't think you're saying anything important until you begin to see that doors are closing up on you, against you. You came out and you said you met a man you should have married. Thank God you didn't. Do you believe that he came and he wanted to borrow money from me? Who in this world knows how to transform the life of another like a man? A good man. Who will see a woman that has no car, no address, no family, no hope, and will take this woman and change the life around? Why is it that when just you, if a 1 in a million woman, you do something for men, the whole world has to know. The whole world has to know. Look, let me tell you young people. Let me tell you. Because I did it, so I'm going to tell you. When I met my ex, my father disowned me. That is how poor he was. I know that sometimes it is very dicey, and I can't blame him. I can't blame him in how much I submitted to him, and it looked like he was trying to destroy me, but I could have stood my ground. It is very likely that when you help a man build, he may never learn to pay you back. But he's not supposed to pay you back because you're supposed to be growing together. Don't let the oil on your head dry just to overfill the oil in the man's head. That's why my own foundation for relationship is, if the man is not supporting your ambition, you need to get out of it. But if he's pulling his weight, you're pulling your weight, even if the relationship doesn't work, it could be from your side or his. None of you will be walking away broken and broke. But if you're waiting for the kind of men you read in Mills and Booms, you will never. And I'm not saying go to the streets and find men that you can fix. This girl that said the man tried to borrow money from her once, while she's in Canada, I'm sure that while they were in Nigeria, the man was the one paying all the bills, doing what boyfriends do on girls that should be taken, on girls instead of investing in themselves. Haven't we seen it? Haven't we seen men send women to school, do all that for? But that is why a lot of the women, nurses especially in America and abroad, get killed. Because the man will not educate himself. With his illiteracy, he will go home and invest in a woman and think that woman is going to be ATM. Anytime you meet anybody that tells you to live your life and live his own, you will lose. The measure of a good relationship is when the man supports your dreams. When both of you can take risks on one another to build yourselves up. That I will come and mislead you. When I am talking about the bitter things in life that men do or can do or are, it is not for you that has never been married. You must learn to keep your... This is the dumping ground. Social media is a trash bin. Now, dustbin. This is where we all come to defecate and urinate. Everything in our life that we don't like, we bring it here. When you see somebody come to share what they like, it is only 1% of the things they really like. This is our dumping ground. All the psychological toxicity in our lives, we dump it here. And you that has your life to live, you think you have seen a story? How dare you? You have no shame. It is not everything that goes through your mind that you experience in your life that you bring here, especially when it can shut doors against you. If you ever meet anybody I know in Canada that is dating you, I will refer them back to this story of how useless, inconsiderate, and inhumane you are, because you yourself are broke. I've been in America since 1996 and I'm still goddamn broke. Because when God, Zimama, when God opens the door for you in Nigeria, you and I know. All you need to know is to meet one person, one right person, and your life will transform. Kindness lives in Nigeria. See, where everything as extreme against one another, it is how wicked we are that we are as kind. If not, people like Gebu, when I hear how much people invest, look at that girl, North Mirage. You look at a fish pie seller. Is there nobody in your family that is broke? North Mirage. I know, I mean, it has happened to me before too. When I started my NGO, then I will go and look for spaces and ask my friends to bring their used items or use my money, sometimes $1,000 to buy bread and just give away to people. We are good people. Look, Nigerians, I don't care how broken we are. We are good people. We are good people. Desperation might have changed us. But at the bottom of our heart, an average Nigerian is a builder, not a breaker. All this one that they're doing on social media, blogging, destroying one another, those are not the ones that you want to look at. We need one another. I'm coming here because with the attitude of that girl and the fish pie seller, that boy, can you imagine? Somebody will use their hard-earned sweat to bless you. Did you hear what he said? He said the day he walked, since the day he moved into that house, his life changed for the worse. How was his life before? What did you expect? You forgot your foundation. You forgot what brought you into the limelight. And that is how a lot of the foolish ones are. Don't abandon that which God has used to raise you up. If you were sweeping the ground when somebody came and did you goodness, that is a lesson that perhaps you should be like a middleman and hire all the poor people around your area and start getting contracts where they throw trash and sweep grounds. But you always abandon the entrance that God uses to bless you. You exit on another side, another project that you know nothing about. Fame? Fame without money is madness. It's madness. But nobody is ready to put money down these days without making sure that you have something to show for it. Look at that fish pie seller. Look at North Mirage. You don't even know how she got her money. You don't know how she has compromised her faith, herself, just to bless you. A car. Bought you a car. Even if it is first-hand use. Is any of her family not suffering? Rented you a house, paid for 1 year. If I rent you a house, I'll just be laughing. Honestly, I rent you, ask my family, they will tell you. If I rent you a house and pay for 1 year, if you begin to sleep under the bridge the following year, I will not give a rat's ass. Are you getting me? We are not. You go to God to complain. It did not create us to be leeches in each other's lives. And that is how some of you get offended. You expect them to check up on you. So how are you doing? North Mirage. Is she older than you? If she is, how many years difference? You will see young people doing you favor as young as you, and you want them to carry your load as if they are your parents. Go to the grave and wake up your parents now, your miserable parents that didn't teach you that even though I broke, nobody say I craze. What is wrong with us? That we're letting the people that can help us shut down doors against others that needed them more at the time they helped us than we did. Being abroad just gives you light and water. and you must be able to pay for it. To be on welfare here, you cannot have up to $500, which is up to not paying bills. An average household pays about $4,000 to $5,500 for bills. So you can imagine if your whole net worth is not more than $500, you will be begging. There are prostitutes here too. There are homeless people with all the social amenities. With the way Nigeria is, we don't have a choice. Everybody would have to struggle. I was telling my brother, look, I want to teach you a sense today. That is why the wise ones that are making money in Nigeria are not the ones that just learned tailoring. You learn tailoring, then you know how to run a franchise with tailors. Contact and connections. It's not so that you can go beg from them. It's so that you can start honest businesses with them. All the illiterates that cannot get to where you can get to, all the people that you're looking down on but have good skills, those are the ones that God expects you to stand in the gap for and say, Baba Tinubu, VDM, and Yoloru Konla Nigeria, Motin Russia, now I saw, Eyi Kakakejale, you the poor, the wretched, you that is in the inner rural areas, you know how to sow, let me hire you. You build their dreams. That's how we're going to reconnect with success. By being an intelligent, hardworking, honest middle person that goes into those fortresses of the rich and pull the money from them and use that which we stand for to build up those that have nothing, would not even have had the confidence to go into the kind of places that we do. Civilization is not to be funky. It is to make money. You're building yourself up. You are meeting needs and you're helping them build up so that we can, like somebody was saying, we have too many hotels in Nigeria. We need to start supporting technical schools. We need to start supporting handwork. If you don't do nothing, you will get nothing. How can you say, I don't have work? You finish high school. What are you doing? You know how to wear bone straight. You know how to do long nails. Men, you know how to hang in the corners and go to supermarkets. But you don't know how to work. Money! If you don't learn to respect money, it's like saying you don't regard the blood that flows in your veins, because even the Bible says that money answereth all things. Put money in its proper place so that you can double your hustle. So that, look, the thing with me and the way they donate to some of these prophetess and prophets and so-called godly people who go to the streets and alleys to pick people that have wounds and are disabled. You help wickedness. You have them here, disabled people that own stores, disabled people that wash cars, disabled people that still do businesses. Just because you have a disability does not mean that you're totally useless. Because an idle hand is the devil's workshop. I will not donate to you online because I believe that there are people on ground with your disability. If you rush to wash their car, you will see favor. I don't have that kind of money. And when you give money indiscriminately, what you do is you breed evil. There are a lot of people that are talented. This woman in Canada has been sick. Then an Indian man moved to the side of her house. I don't know if you saw that clips. She has 3 children struggling, trying to become a social worker. And as she was passing by his fence, he said, "Hi, ma'am, I'm hungry." Said, "You're hungry?" Said, "You know what? I'm cooking noodles. Let me go in and serve you." She served him noodles. Noticed he wasn't wearing shoes. She took off her shoes. Said, No. She took off her shoes and gave to him. The man deliberately has been watching her, hearing her stories of how she was struggling. This is in Canada. He gave her $10,000. This woman went crazy. Now, to bless her like that, and you will say, he used your destiny. What destiny until you begin to take away voodoo from your thought and know that God is still the God of miracles. That the prayers that has not been answered for so many is what is answering. If God answers my prayer the way he has answered that fish boy's prayer, in all honesty, American Muwa, if I have the kindness in the same sum, no, don't double the amount in dollars, in that same naira form that comes into my life, my zeal will be doubled. This morning, I have seen at least 4 kindnesses I can count, but I bet, and it's not even 11 o'clock yet, you will say you haven't seen any kindness. God uses kindness as a reminder that he exists, that we should not give up on our big dreams, that our children will have a life to live, and that even when we're not there, they will continue to walk into greatness. This morning, I am coming from a strike job. I left my wallet where we had the meeting. It was found. The Uber man that picked me said, you know, I took you. You called me now, I'm coming down. This is 150. Oh, you know what? Let me cancel that ride. Sell me $100. That is still mercy. Even though there is nothing that was added to me, nothing was lost. Kindness has 2 faces. The one that comes in to make you great, and the one that keeps you standing on your 2 feet so that you do not have to curse God. We are ungrateful these days, and we need to be very careful. Now, Mirage, I've never heard of your name. I just was following 2-3 days ago. I saw them talking about you, a young girl. Even if they call it chasing cloud, you did that for Fish Pie Man. Thank you. Thank you. Please, don't let it discourage you from being good to people. It should discourage you from being easily parting with your money. But there are still good people out there that will never forget what you have ever done for them. Thank you. May God replenish your pocket. May he restore you in all ways. Fish Pie Man, I'm not going to be one of those that will tell you to go back to your village. Like, what is his name? This Deacon Famous said, a lizard in Nigeria will not turn to a crocodile or alligator in America. You have a wicked heart. That sense of entitlement. And I'm not here to condemn you. I'm just here to point it to you like a mirror. You need to change. You need to be very grateful. If somebody like you ever comes into money, you will be an oppressor. You will be abusive. And you'll be very, very, very ungrateful. You will not be a good master. Because you like it or not, if you have a little change, we're all masters and mistresses that control people, control the way they feel, and control life. So we like it or not, we're all bosses in our own right. As long as you have a job and you're feeding a mouth. That girl has a crew that she deals with. She has her own issue. And please take this to note. If anybody helps you, a classmate, a former schoolmate, if somebody helps you, stop going back to ask for more. They didn't come into life for your own existence. You pull your weight, I pull my weight. That is the truth. That is the truth. Please, let us not kill kindness in our lives. It's bad enough that we're going through the things that we're going through. I can't change the government. I have given up on that. But when you and I help one another, look at VDM and what that lady Naomi said. Somebody that lived in Saudi Arabia and failed with the mobile store between our legs as women. And yet she had the guts to call VDM. If you know what men go through just to make it, you would respect the men around you more, even if they haven't. Sadly, a lot of them don't respect themselves. They limit themselves with how much money is in their pocket or how beautiful a woman they can chase. All I know is whoever it is I choose to marry tomorrow, doesn't matter. Because that's what I prayed for my son as he's struggling in life. I prayed that I will not leave him as poor as I met him. That should be every woman's dream. And build yourself as you build your man. Please. Submission is not about sit down there, stand up there, sit out there. No, no, no. It's about the man also realizing that if he gets sick tomorrow, if anything happens to him tomorrow, this woman is strong enough, Gidigba, to control and monitor that wealth so that your children will not have to beg. Please, we are both important to one another, man and woman. It is not my ex-husband that is the next man on the street. Even with all that he has done and he didn't let me do, was it him in all honesty? Or was it me that was not prepared and equipped and wise enough to be a wife when I went there? Ejekamabara was so thorough now. If a woman is a woman is a woman, knows what she wants, rich or poor, I bet you that man in that marriage will recognize it for her. Men test you. They use it like safety pin. See where it's going to hurt. You give in one, they take it. You give in two, they take it. Let our women be women and not girls when they get married. Parents, stop letting your girl children go get married just to give you peace, because their lives will end up in pieces. What did he say? He said, don't walk. I ran to my father. I ran to my mother. They were asking me, is it not, did he say he cannot feed you? Was that the right answer they should have given him? If my parents had stood their ground and said, no, our child must go to school. She's too brilliant to go to school. Do not go to school. She must, I learned catering and hotel services. I had a degree. He still had the guts to tell me, well, if I want you to work tomorrow, I will. If I don't, just doing just macho for nothing. And so in the end, I hated my parents and I hated him. And I left and cancelled all of them. And I went on the street to make it on my own. Parents, you need to be very careful. Just because you want the husband to stay doesn't mean that you ignore the pains of your daughter. That marriage will last forever if you can say the truth, even though with respect as in-law, to that man. He knows, a wicked man knows he's a wicked man, but he also understands his power and how desperate your family is to keep that woman married to him. We're not stupid. None of us are. It is just what we think we will lose or gain that helps us make these decisions sometimes. And it's not about blame. It's about putting your foot down. Most men don't understand or realize what they have lost until they have actually lost it. If not, can you imagine how I was when I married my ex at 21? Can you imagine? And he left me at 28. At the height of my life, there was nowhere I went. I looked like a baby. Look at me at 58. This is when he's begging to come back to what? He is gone for life. In yet the history, that's why I'm coming here to help you learn. Young ones, please. You will marry, suddenly you will not be able to stand the man because things are not going on well. Poverty. There is nothing in life that knows how to kill dreams and love like lack. Because we grieve when we don't have in different ways. Be a woman before you start chasing dick. Be a woman before you say, yes, I do. And men, you would always want to go for something that is younger than you. Be men. For your future's sake. Because right now, nowhere around the world are the streets smiling. Nowhere around the world. I have heard people tell me, you know, you're such a nice girl. Oh, you don't date. You must be so tight. I wish I had met you. These are husbands of my friends. But I know what it is to be on the street. And when I say on the street, I'm not saying messing around. No, struggling. I left this house yesterday at 4:30. It's almost 11 now. I'm just coming in. I'm in America. She Canada to go Yankee Belili. Give her a few years. I'm in America. There is nowhere that God cannot meet you. It is not the location. Sometimes it is, but get me right. You first must be right as a person before that location begins to resonate with your spirit and attract the kind of person and things that you want. So many things that I see, but I won't say it because I don't want my friends that I love to go through what I am going through. I'm independent. I like it. I wear what I want. I eat what I want. I go where I want. But there's still that thing God says should be, and it's called companionship. And even if you tell your friend something about the husband, if he doesn't leave her, there will be mistrust and lesser happiness. What we should be targeting is how to make one another happy. One another. We didn't cause our problems. But there's just so much. Is it Sunday Igboho that I want to talk about? There's so much on this highway. He has a right to join any party. I've always been one. I have aunties and stuff. I want you to shake for me, but Yoruba nation. Look at the people that are ruling. Billionaires control politicians. Britain, US, Russia, China, they will control us till we die. It is how we will know to manage ourselves within the parameters that have been set. Hey, did you see how they welcome your president? And they play. You have to understand what the dynamics are. It's like, now they shout. I said grace over noise. Grace over noise. Understand the signs of the times and the limitations of your power. You start, we start with ourselves first before we start to go to high places where they can kill you and nobody will say one word. Thank you, Mr. Victor. Any bakunsin kudanu. Kini rateli ajadi. We want justice. We want justice. Oh, tila melo àwọn balage. Wọ́n fi le ṣaṣọ bora. Dola wọ́n many tó pa wọ́n. How many die every day? And I've said it here. Who will die will die. And who will remain will remain. Because there are no other days, there's never been that I know, that a honest person will die and would have died in vain. So every speaker, everybody with passion, you tread softly, you tread tenderly, because the work that God has given you is not what another person can replicate. It will take time to raise another one of you. So you tread with wisdom. You tread with wisdom. Please, let us be considerate about the things that we say. It is not everything that comes to me that I speak. That is not what is called independence or guts or boldness or confidence. That is destruction. I know how many times I want to say certain things. That is when they do the saga and you see Lizzie Anjorin starts to curse their children. It is the children that she curses that I don't like. I said that is the one I love. Because our children are the most valuable, even to a mad woman, most valuable property we have. And if I think of that tomorrow, I will not destroy another person's child. I will not go after somebody that has not come for me. So if cursing our children is the only thing that is still remaining that can reset our brains, then we need to be like Liz Anjorin, so that the blackmailers and the lazy ones and the haters don't think they can just come out and destroy people. You know how many kids they trialed as adults here? Children and young adults that kill, they kill too. They lie, they destroy. Stop looking at your children like innocent so you can have the discipline that they deserve. They're not hopeless. They're not helpless. They are children. Once they pass that kindergarten, toddler stage, they can be killers. Know who you're raising under your roof. Please. I just wanted to say, you, the lady in Canada, Manada. Canada will show you Pepe. Benny Musafun. You will come back on this cyberspace and say, I was wrong about how I disgraced that boy. And I hope that man saw it and he has doubled his hustle. How does it take to make it? You think it is when you walk like you are going to die like I'm doing? No. I'm walking like that because this is America now. There are no people here that can do anything for you. If I land in Nigeria, within 3 weeks, I'll become a millionaire without sleeping with anybody. I know people and people know me. And people like me. And I'm very humble and respectful. Yeah, I can carry water on my head. I can fry buns and puff. I can fry dodo, monseyati. Benny. There is no work that I can't do. I wash my own car here. So who tells you I can't have a car washing company? What are you talking about? Work is honorable. How you package yourself and your perception about it, because it shows when you attend to your customers. You have to learn to appreciate people. How do you treat your customers? They didn't cause your problems. They didn't. Your problem is your problem. You're selling this for $5, but the problem in your life is 5,000. How is it going to meet up now? It will meet up, but it will take time. You sell $5 today, $5 tomorrow, $10 today, $10. That's how it's going to be complete. You can't talk to people anyhow. And you can't expect because a millionaire comes to shop with you, they must leave their change for you. Contentment, satisfaction. That is how we break grounds. The way this world is going, it will never get to where we think it will be. I know you have seen vision. Nigeria will be okay. I know Nigeria will not be okay. But you, the Nigerian in the Nigeria, will have to learn to be okay. Me, the Nigerian in America, will have to learn to be okay. Just that we have a lot of toxic people around us. When we advise each other. Okay, for instance, I was telling one of my friends, I said, and I miss my dogs. Sister Paula, I've had the dogs first. Bam Bam was brought home by my late son when he was 2 weeks old. And he's been with me for 15 years. And he had cancer. And I couldn't watch him in pain. Even to put the dog to sleep costed me for the 2 dogs $750 to put them to sleep. That is how cheap America is, right? And I was telling a friend, you know what she said? She said, that shouldn't even bother you, John. That you shouldn't even be happy that you have dogs. Just because you don't like dogs doesn't mean I can't love dogs. I didn't say like love dogs. The problem is you don't know when to stop trying to control the lives of people that like you, that you have done favor for. You are very insensitive idiots. A lot of us. But I'm not like you. What you like is what you like. What I like is what I like. If we're friends and we're going to work together, it's not about you controlling my life or me controlling yours. After all, we don't live in the same house. How dare you belittle what has been there for me? God created dogs. He didn't tell us. I mean, if you look at the Muslim concept, there are two things that Islam didn't tell us where anybody's soul is going to go to. Women and dogs. The men will go to heaven and get 7 virgins. And I was wondering, since I'm not a virgin, there's no way I can hide that from God. What will he have us do? Be washing the feet of the virgins? That's a topic for another day. But I'm saying, what makes you happy is not what makes me happy. I don't care if you are 310 years old, just because I'm respectful. And there's power, Sister Bala. Power, there is power when you act foolish, naive, and simple. Because you want to stand to be able to see how much your friends can abuse you, how much they think they control your mind. I am not a fool. I'm not confrontational. I'm not chaotic. But being she joke, being she darker, once I pull the plug, you're gone. I don't care if you drive a Lamborghini. I don't care how deep we have gotten. Once I sense that there's just too much power in being unassuming, in being simple, in letting them think that they are in control. Because that's how you know wicked people. Just because you have a friend that is simple. Help me take that purse. She takes it. Can you close the door? She closes it. Can you do this? She's doing it. You think you're controlling her? No. She's just laughing in her mind at how foolish you are. You want to tell me what to feel, how to act with my sister, how to deal with my dog, how to think when I think, what God thinks I should be doing. What the hell died and made you God? If I cancel you, I cancel you. That's the people who don't know me. I don't say goodbye. I depart. So when you hear, and suddenly, that's my name. And I will make sure that I don't owe you 1 cents. You will be, hi. La Mama Kirawa. You have just done your stuff. I have forgiven you, but I don't have the energy. God restores, right? It doesn't deplete energy when it restores. It fills with energy. Right now, I am looking for people who feel my energy. That's why I come here to talk like this. So that you destructive ones, ungrateful ones, wicked ones will not keep on shutting doors, because that is still all I'm banking on. Outside of the work of my hands, my son says, this your hustle fit to panyo. This body no be iron, no. Half of us in the US are nurses. We're not taking care of well people. America that we have come, it is sick people that we're taking care of. Let us know that there's nothing that supersedes kindness. It is not pretense, and a heart of gratitude. Your girl, Elizabeth Ajola Oshodi. I love you. God bless you. Goodbye. Thank you. Share. Goodbye.